Greetings, fellow scouts and fighters. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Survive the Fall. Episode 2, Bringing the Fight to the Enemies. The gathered knowledge will now allow us to develop the technology of canteen construction. The tech tree is used to unlock new projects. After opening it, either with the interaction icon or in the archive, you can then spend the knowledge point. So if we hit K here, this is the tech tree. And it wants me to unlock canteen, which is 1 point. Not all things are 1 point each. They become more expensive the further down in the tech tree you go. But canteen allows us to cook food. Hold left mouse to unlock. The technology is ready. Once we have enough materials, construct a canteen will be easy. Knowledge will help us expand the base, but for now, we need to deal with the external threats. Those lunatics caught us completely off guard. We retreated to the bunker. I saw something outside. Liz ran from her hideout towards us, but those brutes were right behind her. I wanted to help, but fear paralyzed me. They caught her halfway. Once they realized they couldn't break into the bunker, they took off, together with Liz. Don't blame yourself, Rust. It wasn't your fault. We'll get her back. Those bastards must have left plenty of tracks. You need to track them down. That's exactly what we're going to do. There is also another issue. Those savages destroyed our radio transmitter. Without it, I won't be able to communicate with you. Luckily, thanks to the map you brought along, I located an old radio station nearby. If you can get it working, it will give us long-range communication. We need to sharpen our eyes and ears now more than ever. You're right, we'll take care of it. Use the time you have before the end of the day. You should set out at dawn to reach the valley in the morning. Just remember to prepare before you set out. I found some extra knowledge items and resources that could be useful. Once you return, we can focus on expanding the base. A canteen would be a great start. We could finally eat something better than raw food. We'll make our camp safe again. Starting now, you'll have a limited time to perform actions in camp. Current time is shown in the time widget in the upper right of the screen. When evening falls, it will be a good time to meet the settlers' needs and finalize the day's tasks. The rest is up to you. So at the end of every day, you plan an expedition for up to 3 of your settlers or your community members for the next day, as well as assign people to potentially sleep in beds, sleep on the ground, do a night watch, etc., etc. And it's morning right now, and when you queue up a task, it will also show how much of that task will take. So if I click this, you see how the time task is up there? Like 6 hours and 44 minutes is almost all the time in the day. So you can also see how much work you are queuing up on the time widget, which is a really nice feature. All right, so what I want to do is go to the research screen with, let's say, Bubba, and have Bubba spend 3 hours analyzing 8 knowledge. I would also like to get the canteen, because he wasn't wrong. Canteen would be great. So I'm going to drop the canteen here with Rust. And I had the materials for it, no problem. All right, taking a look at my guys. Zach and Dan are going to be 2 of the better ones to deploy out into the field, because they have skills. Being a hunter and a scavenger, they have skills that are particularly well suited for combat. Up here, this is like a time sink. So if you have idle people, you can collect rubble, metal, and plastic by spending a whole lot of time rummaging these piles. So because I don't have anything for these 2 guys to do, this is a way to just like waste time until there's a task to be done. After we get the canteen up, unlocking bunks so that people can actually sleep would be very handy, because being tired in this game comes with big stamina penalties, and you will start to lose melee fights if you can't keep your eyes open. How much food do I have? Camp summary. Oops. I have got some animal carcasses which would need to be processed. I've got some common food and some nutritious food, and food ingredients. I don't have a ton of food, but I have some. It's not great, but it's a start. And you can see the food and water up here, and also fuel, because most of the food requires firewood to process. Another thing to think about is to rebuild the main gate, because without a main gate, we won't be able to repel attackers. So here's the canteen, and I can open up the canteen crafting, and we can start making big meal preparations using the ingredients that we have and combining them into a meal. Once Bubba finishes with his research, I'll have Bubba cook some meals up. All right, let's see. Jen, go dig up for some scrap metal. And then I'm going to keep Rust idle at the moment. Actually, let's see. Rust. There's nothing else to build right now, so yeah, just stay idle. As soon as we get the research screen done, there will be new buildings for us to build. Why are there no walls in the shelter for rooms? That's just how they're designed. There will be walls in some of the buildings. And here, as you can see, Zach is coming down with some rubble from the infinite debris pile that is up there. So this is really low time efficiency, but if you are idle otherwise, you know, it's better than doing nothing. Okay, research complete. So, as a result, Bubba, come over here and cook up 10 food rations. And then Rust, opening up the tech tree. Bunks, so we can sleep. Plant frame. And lumber mill. Is going to be what I get initially. The remaining 2 points. Let me think. Rubble collectors as well. Okay. So with that done, I would like to first get the plant frame up. And this thing allows me to cut down trees for timber. So I'm going to place it, you know what? I'm actually going to place it maybe here. And there's a reason for this. Eventually, we'll unlock material storage, so that this will also not only be a lumber mill, but also material storage, and having material storage adjacent to a crafting area will reduce the runtime. So when we try to craft stuff, we don't have to come all the way to the camp storage. We can go out to the material storage out here, allowing us to be able to take advantage of proximity. And then after he's done with that, I also want bunks in our shelter. Which may or may not just got bugged out. I'm not 100% sure. When the daytime is up, the night planning screen will appear. You must select which survivors will embark on an expedition and who will rest. Once you have selected your expedition members, for the next step is to select the appropriate amount of equipment for them. You can also manually advance the next day by clicking End of Day in the main bunker. So if you don't want to do any more tasks in your camp, you can force End of Day here. But I think what I need to do is do a quick save and load, because I lost some of my UI here. kind of important to have a user interface. Just a little bit. Well, that's discouraging. Oh, there we go. So the end of day is here. And let's see. Everyone is still debris collecting? Yep. Bubba's still cooking. Dan, you are currently idle. So this is a debris pile that is in contamination. But here's some debris piles that I could go to without, you know, self-harm. Bat Wombat and Airdog, thank you for the resubs. I think trying to queue up the beds may have consumed the resources and I didn't get them, but whatever, it's not a big deal. Yeah, so I need 3 more rubble for the bunks, but Dan is running to hand that off right now. There we go. And then Dan, or actually Zach, you're better at it. Zach, you come over here and salvage this frame. The disadvantage of building a structure with a non-builder is it just takes longer. It's less efficient. Alright, so it's nighttime, but it's only when this timer gets all the way to the top that the next day triggers. So we will have at least some bunks before end of day. And there it is. So, Dan and Zach, grab yourself a bunk. And I'm going to see about giving them as much rest as I can before tomorrow. And it will be end of day any second now. So Dan and Zach have not completed their rest function, but they've recovered some stamina. So here's the end of day, and we're going to do an expedition to try to help get the radio tower back on and get Liz back. So here's the plan the next day's screen. And the way this works is the expedition that you run will be sort of like separate. You can think of it as a day is split into like 6 hours a piece, where the first 6 hours is an expedition and the next 6 hours is in camp. So it's not one or the other. You can plan on staying. So if you say like, oh, I'm going to sleep on the ground, you don't have to go out every day if you don't want. But in this case, I'm going to send Zach and Dan out. I'm going to have Jen and Bubba sleep in a bed and Rust sleep on the ground. Hit prepare. And then here is the equipment screen. So for Dan, I'm going to give him a backpack, a machete, a bomber jacket, the hunting rifle, ammunition, and then for, well, an air gun. For Zach, I'm going to give the shotgun, an axe, a backpack, cloth vest, and shotgun shells. I'll also carry bandages with me, just in case. So an axe and a machete. One thing I'll need to do is to get some more tools for tomorrow. If you wanted to bring anything extra, like let's say I wanted to bring a Molotov, I could put it in my team inventory or as an equipment. So you can also bring extra stuff with you, which is particularly useful if you have stuff like lockpicks or rope, or other tools. So if we had like a pick or a a shovel or whatever, we could bring that in our team inventory. So don't ignore team inventory. It's pretty important. And let's start expedition. And what I'm going to be doing is, let's go ahead and decide to... Actually, I'll have you guys decide what to do first. Find Liz or get the tower running. So, quick little poll up there for you guys. And here we are. We are leaving our camp. And there is... Go to the radio station or follow the trail of the cultist to find Liz. We have the main and side quests. And it looks like I'm going to call this one early. We're going to try to find Liz. So the current priority is find Liz and obtain building materials for the camp. So all over the world here, there's going to be interactable objects. For instance, if I switch to Zach, I can hack up this tree for firewood or wood, depending on what we end up getting. And grabbing basically everything you can is pretty wise until you know if you don't need something specific. So I know I'm going to need a lot of wood and rubble to get building, so I'm going to focus on wood and rubble. There's also hidden areas. So Dan, for instance, has a machete, so he can get through these vines. And the vines had healing herbs and fibers, which is pretty handy as well. So there's a lot of areas in the world that have resources that you can obtain through the use of specific tools. So for instance, there is loot up there on that ledge, but I don't have a rope to be able to climb it. So I know for the future, I should come back with a rope and set one up so that we can loot whatever's up there. Oh, and that box had a rope in it, so let's set a rope up. Perfect. Some of the, some resources will regenerate over time, like bushes and the like, but boxes of loot won't. So it depends on the loot object, if you're wondering. Ooh, basic handbag. That's really nice. Basic handbag increases your loot capacity by 2. Hey Firth, thank you for the resub. Zach is pretty hungry. 31% hungry. So we just picked up a food ration, which restores 30% hunger. So I'm going to use that on Zach. So now he's not hungry at all. Now, I don't necessarily want to completely fill up my inventory full of stuff, because, you know, if you have no space for anything, you would have to end the day to drop off stuff back at your base. So it's, I'm going to loot this area and then make more of an effort to go help Liz, because otherwise I'm going to absolutely fill my inventory up and not be able to progress any further. So here's a scenario where there's loot in this cave, but I would need a pickaxe to be able to get through that stone there. And then there is a way out over here, but I would need a torch to burn up this stasis goo. So these 2 pathing blockers require tools to bypass them that I don't currently possess. All right. Let's climb back down. And there is loot everywhere. So this, for instance, is rubble piles. And rubble piles are a really good way to get rubble building material. So whenever I see rubble piles, I'm absolutely going out of my way to grab more rubble as building materials. Now on the expedition, there's not really a timer. Like, time isn't progressing. I'm not losing time in my day. So you can spend as much time on an expedition as you want, but at some point you will fill your inventories, and without returning to camp, there's not much more to be gained. So this needs a lockpick to open. I don't have lockpicks, nor do I have the ability to make them, so we'll have to come back later. All right, the journal for the rescue: follow the trail of the cultists. Oh, we're already standing right where their footprints are. That's convenient. And they went this way. I think we're getting near. Can you hear the chanting? Yeah, I don't like it. Sounds like there's a lot of them. We need to approach quietly. Keep an eye out for spots we can get inside. So here is their mega camp. And I am going to save, just in case I'm a potato. Better safe than sorry. So certain things like this axe for wood probably would make too much noise. So like trying to resource harvest right outside of an enemy camp might not be all that wise. I'm gonna hold off on that. So breaking this piece down. Remember, during combat you can activate tactical pause. Yeah, breaking that down has aggroed this guy. I took a little bit of damage, but if I dip into the woods, they'll be none the wiser. And now we have a way in. I did take a little bit of damage. I could use my bandages. Am I hungry? No, I'm not hungry. I'm not going to worry about it. It's not a lot of damage. So as you can see, their camp is full of people. And right now we're in like a stasis dead end. You know, there's like stasis blockers all around us. And they're looking for us, but they haven't found us yet, so they'll be dispersing soon. Get out of there, Dan. Every now and then, your followers will, like, fall behind. I have been trapped by environment before. Once you unlock some fast travel points, you can always fast travel out of being stuck. If you get stuck in the environment. Just to give you a heads up about that. Ooh, more bullets. I'll be sure to use that with Dan in a minute. Alright, let's see if they've chilled a bit over at their camp, so we can get inside. It looks like they're no longer on high alert, which is good. So let's sneak inside and See about trying to find Liz again. Alright, I'm gonna split up from Zach. Because it's easier to control just myself for now. So that I don't go with the other one wandering into somewhere dangerous. And we have a lookout up there. And I think there was also someone on patrol down here a moment ago. Nope. He turned around. So I dove off of that platform so he didn't see me in time. Down you go, buddy. Now, some of these, like the barrel of gasoline, are interactable. Obviously, that would cause a hell of a commotion. So they're not necessarily wise to do unless you want to trigger whatever it was. And let's get both of my guys now in the camp together. Because if I do go loud, it's nice to have him close enough to render aid. But I want to make sure that Zach, who's not immediately following me, doesn't trip any alarms himself. Well, that was close. Oh, yep. He saw me anyway. Alright, so I hit V to regroup, which drags Zach outside with me. But instead of last time, I'm not really planning on hiding from them. So if they manage to come out where I am, they're going to get a really nasty bullet hole in their body. So as you can see, it isn't always turn-based. Like at the moment, obviously, this is real time. Someone died here. Yes, they did. Now that most of their front gate guards are looking the wrong way, I'm going to pivot over here and use that distraction to my advantage, because no one's checking the front gate. So I just shot the ladder and lowered it, so now I have an alternative path into their base. Because I drew them away to the west. I don't see any other paths into their base. So we can try to use the two that we've opened up for now. Alright, seems like they're resetting their positions. So let's go ahead and mess with them some more. Hey, Smutty Monkeys, thank you for the resub. Do I have time before they come around the corner? I think so. Perfect. You idiot, I have the key, get back to work. And it looks like Zach's starting to get a little tired. Well, he's gonna be hard to kill stealthily, because he's got his back to the wall. So killing everyone around him is gonna be initially easier, I think. Now, as Zach gets more tired, there will be penalties to his stamina and things like that. Damage, etc. Nothing that I really need to worry about at the moment, because he's only a little tired. He hasn't hit any critical thresholds or anything like that. Oh, just got a pipe bomb. That's a hell of a thing to use. Alright, I have an idea. I'm going to switch to Dan in a minute and draw this guy outside so we can ambush him. Oh, I didn't bring stones with me. Never mind. That won't work. Alright, let's kill as many around here as possible before engaging this guy. Hello. During a fight, you can perform dodges with spacebar or hold for a roll. And he's dead. You want to fight too? So this guy's trying to throw a pilot at us. He's dead as well. I can see more of their compatriots coming over. So I'm gonna dip to the woods over here. And yeah, they found a corpse. Not a big deal. They don't know where I am. Alright, in terms of inventory, I don't really have a lot of slots open left. So I gotta be careful about what I pick up. But the world is persistent, meaning anything that I don't loot now, I can always come back for tomorrow. Ooh, he almost saw me. Night. And what I'm assuming is commander had a note on him, so I'll read that in just a minute. We're picking up ammo and arrows and firewood. Burn. I managed to steal some of the loot from the last raid. There were some mysterious books from the old days that I think might be worth something. Browse the merchandise and let me know how much you can get for it. I hid it under the wing of the plane. That sounds like it's my books. It's under the wing of the plane. Alright, copy that. And we just picked up a key of some sort. Alright, I do have a full inventory, so let's see about freeing up some space. I'm gonna eat common food for me and Dan, topping up our food. And then I'm gonna drop the arrows because I don't have a bow. And I'll equip the pipe bomb on Dan, just to free up room. On another note, the time is near. Soon we will make a final stand against the cursed stasis, and God will grant us his forgiveness. I need you to raid and pillage every settlement you come across. The flame demands more resources, both in supplies and people. Choose only those that could be broken and remade as cited to grow our ranks. The rest shall perish like ash in the wind. Prioritize taking women who can bear us more brothers and sisters. Select only the strong and healthy. Once your work is done, rendezvous with Trock at the lumber mill. Feel the flame, be the flame. Korat. Well, now I know why they took Liz. So, at least there's that. Here's a hidden stash underneath the wing of the plane. And we managed to fit everything in our inventory, which is good. I think for now, I'm not gonna, actually, I'm gonna drop the firewood. I can always come back later for it, but, we're running out of space. So there's a bunch of bodies over this way, so let's get them cleared out. And yes, if I drop something now, as I mentioned just moments ago, the world is persistent, so I can always come back for it. The CDs we took are called memories, and they are, like bottle caps. They're currency. And they don't go into the normal inventory. They go into, like, a wallet. You can think of them as coins. Come on, don't overlap. Split up. Numbskull. Oh, there we go. How's that feel, dude? Yeah, I have a shotgun. Hurts it, don't it? Alright, let's hide these bodies. There's no one else around. I don't have a crowbar, so I can't get into that section. Copy that. And because my inventory is basically full, I'm not even going to bother to pick up anything at this point, because I got no space for it. Then I can hear someone over in the hut. Copy that. As far as I know, there's not friendly fire, but that might not be true with grenades and things. But like for gunfire, there isn't. And the key we picked up is to this shack. Thank you for tuning in to Survive the Fall, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow survivors.